does renunciation arise?
Renunciation is not the ego dreaming of liberation or nirvana. It is the state in which the heart naturally moves toward its true nature. Then, how does the heart naturally move toward its true nature? Above all, we must clearly see the harm of the worldly mind. What is the worldly mind? The worldly mind is a mind that produces suffering. When we pursue worldly values, we inevitably experience suffering. But this must be known through direct experience beyond intellectual understanding. If a centipede actually bites you, what would you feel? You would realize, the poison of the centipede is truly dangerous. But if we only imagine it, we do not truly understand the danger. If we fall into craving like the poison of a centipede, we no longer see the harm, and that very state of mind may even feel pleasant. Like this, we must experientially understand that the worldly mind produces suffering. If we vaguely pursue renunciation without clearly knowing the harm of the worldly mind, true renunciation will not arise. Renunciation arises from clearly understanding the harm of the worldly mind.
If we decide to practice, is that renunciation?
If life simply feels painful, or if we like the Buddha's teachings, can that alone be called renunciation? Just by making up our mind, have we boarded the boat of renunciation? No. If renunciation were complete, that itself would be true nature, and even the word renunciation would no longer be needed. But we still have the worldly mind. Therefore, we must clearly distinguish whether this is renunciation or the worldly mind. This is renunciation. This is the direction of my life. Only when such a shift occurs have we boarded the boat toward liberation. A change in the direction of life requires a realization that brings a reversal in perception. That way is not right. I must go this way. Such a turning, such an opening of the eyes must take place. We must realize that the values of the worldly mind are not true values. This insight must arise. Only when we truly feel that renunciation is the direction we must go have we boarded the boat toward liberation.
How can we cultivate renunciation in daily life?
Renunciation arises easily when we meditate or listen to teachings. But we spend most of our time going about our daily lives. How then can we cultivate renunciation in everyday life? First, we must recognize whether the present mind is renunciation or the worldly mind. But if it's hard to tell what this mind is right now, look at it in terms of egoic desire and attachment. A mind in which egoic desire and attachment arise is the worldly mind. A mind that lets go of egoic desire and attachment and weakens them is the mind of renunciation. In this way, in daily life, as we distinguish between the two, the heart naturally learns what is harmful and what is beneficial.
When we are faced with an important choice, how should we practice?
We must look at two things, the situation and our own heart. Are these two in line with the natural flow? First, examine the situation and see whether it arises from our thoughts or our own self centered desire. Then examine whether our heart truly wants it. What we want from our thoughts or self centered desire is different from what the heart wants. When we have to make a choice, we think we are the ones who decide and choose. But the moment we believe we can decide and choose, that is already the worldly mind. Renunciation is not the mind that tries to decide, but the mind that follows the natural flow. This flow is the whole field of reality where everything unfolds through causes and conditions. The present situation and our heart are part of that flow. Our thoughts and egoic desires are not the flow of causes and conditions. The world never unfolds according to our personal will. Therefore, it is important to understand the flow and move with it.
Why should we follow the flow?
When we resist the flow, we suffer. If there is a flow and we try to block it, or if the flow goes one way and we try to go another, obstacles and suffering arise. When we follow the flow, that path becomes a path of growth and the right direction. In truth, the heart wants to move with that flow. The greater flow is important. We cannot decide our birth, and we cannot decide our death. In reality, there is very little we can truly decide. Therefore, the attitude of following the flow is important. When we follow the flow, that path becomes a path of growth and the right direction.
Does following the flow mean everything is right?
This idea is easily misunderstood. Even while following the flow, if we act from self centered desire, we eventually lose our way. We must follow the flow while continually observing the heart and cultivating renunciation. Seeing the heart is not easy. Usually, when we are asked to observe the mind, we look at our desires. But within the heart, there is a deeper inner longing distinct from our desires. It is a quiet sense that this is the direction. Even if resistance appears, something says not to turn away. That is the deeper inner longing. If you are unsure, take one step. If still unsure, take another. At some point, there is a change in the heart that you can clearly feel, and a moment when everything shifts. What matters is seeing whether this is truly the flow. Follow the unfolding situation and observe your heart. Observe your heart carefully, even if it seems irrational. If the deeper heart is drawn, follow it. If there is a magnetic pull, go. But if calculation and self centered desire are mixed in, that is not the same thing.
How can we know the heart clearly?
We meditate to know the heart. When we cultivate the heart well in daily life, when the moment of choice comes, we are naturally drawn toward renunciation. Feel your heart right now. Are you not already drawn in that direction? All of us who are now drawn to practice are already on the path of cultivating renunciation. As renunciation grows, the heart becomes better able to follow the flow. If we truly follow the flow, the mind becomes wholesome, and when we experience that wholesomeness, harmful states of mind and self destructive ways of living no longer appeal to us. Such a person has already boarded the boat. May we all experience this shift in perception.